In a small, ordinary school, nestled among rows of identical classrooms, there was one place that felt truly extraordinary to a little girl named Lina. It wasn't the library, with its endless shelves of stories, nor the bustling playground filled with laughter. No, for Lina, the most magical place on earth was a science lab. Sunlight would stream through its large windows, illuminating the colorful liquids that glowed inside glass tubes, and posters of distant planets and tiny atoms covered the walls. Lina, with her bright eyes and a tiny white lab coat that was just a little too big, could spend hours there, completely captivated. One day, her teacher smiled warmly at her. "Lina, don't you ever get tired of experiments?" But Lina just shook her head, her face beaming with excitement. "Never! Every experiment is a new adventure." When the final bell rang each day, its sound would echo through the emptying halls. While other children hurried home, eager for games and cartoons, Lina stayed behind. To her, the quiet school wasn't empty. It was full of possibilities. She felt as if the lab itself was whispering secrets, secrets that only she could hear. She'd open her notebook, its pages filled with colorful drawings, complex formulas, and little stars doodled in the margins. As she sat there, surrounded by the silent beakers and burners, she would whisper to herself, "I know there's something special waiting here." And one evening, she was right. She was mixing two liquids, a simple experiment she'd done a dozen times before. A vibrant blue solution met a deep purple one. But this time, something was different. Suddenly, the mixture began to glow with a brilliant, golden light. It shimmered, and then, impossibly, it began to float, hovering just slightly above the beaker it was in. Soft, chiming sounds filled the air, like tiny bells ringing in the quiet lab. Lina gasped, her eyes wide with disbelief. "That's not possible. I didn't plan this." She had followed the rules, the formulas, everything she had learned. But at that moment, in that silent room, science had just met magic. And Lina had absolutely no idea what she had just created. That night, she couldn't sleep. The glowing bottle sat on her desk, pulsing with a gentle, golden light. Back in her bedroom, surrounded by her most trusted companions, a fluffy teddy bear, a shiny toy robot, a graceful doll, and a little green dinosaur, Lina felt a mix of nerves and excitement bubble up inside her. She carefully held the bottle, its contents swirling like a tiny galaxy. "Just a tiny test," she whispered to her silent friends. Holding her breath, she gently sprayed a fine mist of the glowing formula over them. For a second, nothing happened. Then, the toys began to shake. A soft burst of light erupted from each one. The teddy bear stretched its fabric arms and yawned. And the doll blinked her painted eyes, looking around the room with shy curiosity. The teddy bear looked down at its own legs, confused. "Why do I have legs?" he mumbled in a soft, fuzzy voice. The robot's head swiveled towards Lina. "System activated." "Hello, creator." Lina couldn't hold it in any longer. A joyous laugh escaped her. "You're alive! I did it!" What had started as a simple experiment, born from a deep-seated curiosity, had now become something truly, wonderfully magical. The adventure, however, was just beginning. As the toys explored their newfound life, something even more astonishing happened. A swirling portal, made of shimmering equations, constellations, and a kaleidoscope of colors, opened right in the middle of Lina's bedroom. It hummed with a strange, inviting energy. The doll, startled, hid behind Lina's leg. Lina! Not a storm of rain and thunder, but a chemical storm, with clouds of unstable energy crackling in the air. Before they could find shelter, a bolt of this strange energy struck the robot. He froze instantly, his lights went dark, and his metal body turned to stone. Lina rushed to his side, tears streaming down her face. Driven by a new sense of purpose, Lina knew what she had to do. They found a floating laboratory, a quiet sanctuary amidst the chaos. She opened her notebook, its pages now holding the key to saving her friend. She studied her original notes, her brow furrowed in concentration. This time, there would be no guessing, no reckless mixing. She adjusted the measurements with precision, her hands steady. Science isn't about guessing, she said with determination. It's about learning from what went wrong. She carefully poured the new, stabilized formula over the stone robot. A soft, warm light enveloped him, and just as quickly as he had frozen, he began to move again. System restored, the robot announced, his lights blinking back to life. Thank you, Lina, as dawn approached. They returned through the portal, back to the familiar comfort of Lina's bedroom. But the magic was beginning to fade with the morning light. The toys moved slower, their voices growing quiet. They knew their time was coming to an end. They gathered around Lina one last time, smiling as their bodies grew still. Even if we're just toys again, the dinosaur whispered. We'll always be your friends, the doll finished. Lina smiled through her tears, a sad but grateful smile. You taught me the greatest lesson of all, she said softly, giving each one a gentle hug goodbye. The next morning, Lina walked into the school science lab. It looked the same, but for Lina, everything had changed. The room felt brighter, more full of life than ever before. She saw other children, curious but a little hesitant, looking at the experiments. This time, she didn't keep the magic to herself. She walked over and began to help them, her voice full of the same excitement she had always felt, but now tempered with wisdom and kindness. She had learned that real magic doesn't only live in glowing formulas or mysterious potions. It lives in the spark of curiosity, in the kindness we show to others, and in the courage to learn from our mistakes and try again. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to keep exploring.